everyone, I'm Alex and I'm the hands behind Lovecraft Crochet. My plushies are for the anxious, depressed, autistic, and neurodivergent. Small enough to travel in a purse, backpack, diaper bag, or even your pocket. You can check out my Facebook page or TikTok to see what patterns are available and stay tuned for the new ones coming out. I also make hats, scarves, blankets, and dice bags for the tabletop gamer or dice goblin in your life. Feel free to order through the page, TikTok DMs, or via email at love.craft.crochet@gmail.com. Now, on to the segment.
Greetings, campers. My name is Shannon, and I am the host of Campfire Ghost Stories, a podcast where I tell you about the ghost stories, cryptids, and legends of our forests and woods. I also share with you about the perfect camping spots nearby so you can get up close and cozy by the campfires. You can keep up to date on new episodes around the campfire on my Facebook and Instagram pages, Campfire Ghost Stories. And I am always on the lookout to hear about your own personal ghost stories. These can be sent to my email, campfireghoststories8@gmail.com. Happy camping!
Due to the graphic and disturbing nature of the crimes discussed, listener discretion is advised. Retrostatic Radio presents Killing 15 Minutes.
Hello and welcome to Killing 15 Minutes, where you get your true crime fix in 15 minutes or less, or your podcast is free. I'm your writer, Sam Rossi, and shortly I'll be handing over a rough draft of a script to my brother, AJ, who hasn't read it, who's most likely has no idea what we're talking about. This should be fun. Good luck, bro.
Thanks, Sam. Carla Faye Tucker brutally murdered 2 people during a burglary. She was first woman since Velma Barfield. Have we covered Velma Barfield before?
Yes, we have.
So go look at that. To be executed in the United States and the first in Texas since 1863.
Interesting fact about that was during the Civil War, and she ended up being exonerated later on.
Posthumously?
Posthumously.
Born November 18th, 1959 in Houston, Texas, she was the youngest of 3 girls. She was 8 years old when she started smoking cigarettes. When she was 10 years old, she found out she wasn't her father's child. This came out during divorce proceedings. Well, that's one way to screw someone up.
That's really how you do it.
By 12, she was taking drugs and having sex. She dropped out of school at 14 and joined her mother in the prostitution enterprise. Her mother was a rock groupie, and together they traveled with the Allman Brothers, the Marshall Tucker Band, and the Eagles. And if the Eagles weren't there, she would have firmly screwed herself right to the middle. I'm kidding, I actually like the Allman Brothers. At 16, she was briefly married. By her 20s, she was hanging with bikers and met a woman, Shawn Dean, and her husband, Jerry Lynn Dean. They introduced the 21-year-old to 35-year-old Danny Garrett, and they began dating. After spending a drug-filled weekend with Garrett and his friends, around 3 a.m. Monday, June 13th, 1983, Tucker and Garrett broke into Jerry Dean's apartment in Houston, Texas, with the intentions of stealing a motorcycle. A friend, Jamie LeBrant, went with the couple to the apartment complex. LeBrant reported he went looking for Dean's El Camino while the couple used keys to enter the apartment. Supposedly, Tucker had found them after Shawn had lost them. They entered Dean's bedroom, and a struggle ensued between Dean and Tucker. Garrett beat Dean over the head with a ball-peen hammer. The hammer was found on the floor. Garrett left to take motorcycle parts out of the apartment. So this was a deconstructed motorcycle.
I believe that it was a fully constructed motorcycle outside, but they had spare parts inside.
Okay. Either that or they took it apart to rebuild it in the apartment. Now they're taking it apart to get it out of the apartment.
There's that option also.
How do you get the boat out of the basement?
That's a very good question. I still don't know the answer.
So, however, while Garrett was doing that, Tucker stayed in the room. The strikes Garrett had dealt caused Dean to make gurgling sounds, and had not killed him. Quote Tucker, "I had to make the sound stop." Apparently that's how Tucker sounds in my head.
Okay.
Kind of a Tanya Tuckery thing. She then picked up a 3-foot pickaxe that was leaning against the wall. She beat Dean with it. Garrett returned to deal the final blow to Dean's chest. Garrett left again to continue to load parts into his ranchero. However, Tucker noticed a body in the bed. Deborah Thornton was there in that bed. She struggled against Tucker after Tucker missed her with the pickaxe. Garrett showed up and separated the two, allowing Tucker to repeatedly bury the pickaxe into Deborah's chest. She would leave the pickaxe buried deep in her heart. Tucker would say later that she experienced multiple intense orgasms. She told people this and did in fact testify to it.
Yeah.
Almost sexual. Although usually it's the men who are
I
stabbing.
know, really.
A co-worker of Dean's found the bodies the next morning. Police investigated for 5 weeks before arresting Tucker and Garrett. Tried separately in September of 1983, Tucker, in exchange for testimony against Garrett, wasn't charged for Thornton's murder. Garrett was also not charged for Thornton's murder. Nobody was charged for Deborah Thornton's murder here.
No.
Tucker pled not guilty and awaited trial. She picked up a Bible and began to read. Tucker would become a Christian in October of '83. Female killers rarely ever get the death penalty. An exception, however, was made for Tucker. Both she and Garrett were sentenced to death in 1984. Garrett died of liver disease in '93. Between 1984 and '92, all appeals and requests for pre-trial were denied. Retrial.
Sorry.
Well, you made a P here originally, scribbled it, and then wrote re. I thought you just wrote pre-trial. Weird. Between 1984 and '92, all appeals and requests for retrial were denied. On June 1992, Sam thinks, Tucker requested a change to life imprisonment based on her being under the influence of drugs. Tucker said that she was a reformed person, and if she had not taken the drugs, the murders would never have been committed. Her plea drew support from all over the world, even some American conservatists. Conservatists?
Did I mean...
I think you mean conservatives.
That might be it.
Some of her supporters were Pope John Paul II, Newt Gingrich, and Pat Robertson. And I'll say none of those names, except for maybe the Pope. I liked Pope John Paul II. But Newt Gingrich and Pat, that is all over the spectrum there.
Yeah, Pat Robinson was wasn't he, what was...
A talking head for Fox? I don't think
Evangelist. Televangelist.
Same thing. Ha! The brother of Debbie Thornton was also against Tucker's execution. The Huntsville warden testified that Tucker had been a model prisoner, and after 14 years on death row, she had been reformed. The board, however, rejected all of her appeals. On January 28, 1998, Texas Governor George W. Bush also denied her appeal, hours before her execution. On February 2nd, 1998, she was taken from Gatesville to Huntsville for her execution. Her last meal was a banana, a peach, and a garden salad with ranch dressing. She selected 4 witnesses for her final moments, including Thornton's brother, Ronald Carlson. Her last words were, "Yes, sir, I would like to say to all of you, the Thornton family and Jerry Doff's family, Jerry Dean's, I don't know why, the Thornton family and Jerry Dean's family, that I am sorry. I hope God will give you peace with this." She looked at her husband. "Baby, I love you." Then she looked to Ronald Carlson. "Ron, give Peggy a hug for me." She looked at all present, weeping and smiling back at her. "Everyone has been so good to me. I love all of you very much. I'm gonna be face to face with Jesus now. Warden Baggett, thank all of you so much. You've been so good to me. I love you all very much. I will see you all when you get there, and I will wait for you. She was officially executed by lethal injection on February 3rd, 1998. The following year, Governor Bush was asked about the clemency plea by Tucker Carlson. Not to be confused with the two people who have last names of Tucker and Carlson.
I know, right?
However, Sam has not been able to find that interview, although I would actually really think that might be interesting to hear.
That's why I went looking for it, because why did he offer clemency to another person the following year? I think it was the lady who drowned her kids.
Oh, because of the Jesus?
Well, I'm not sure.
Well, it is interesting. By the way, that's the end of that tale. We should always wrap up when Tucker Carlson gets involved. So, Carly Rae Jepsen. No, Carly Tucker. Carla Tucker.
Carla Faye.
Carla Faye Tucker. Thank you. I knew I would get it eventually. I find this one a lot more interesting than a lot of the other ones we've done.
Well, she is the female killer, which we don't really get to do a lot of.
And when it comes to, she's a female violent killer. Like, yeah, she's a lady who killed violently. That's also a very...
That's the first one we've done where like this, where there's no poison involved or killing with using succinylcholine or whatever it is.
Who's sucking what out of chlorine?
Succinylcholine. Chloride. No, sucks. Oh, fucking that.
Don't hurt yourself, kid. So, but no, I actually, because there's a lot of different layers to break down here. First off, it wasn't a serial killing. It wasn't like the one nurse who was killing people. Not the Angel of Mercy, but just the one who's like, I can get the drugs, and I can kill people with the drugs.
Yep.
I win. You know, and again, it was a violent thing, but it wasn't a premeditation. It was a burglary gone bad. I mean, violence was inherent in any B&E.
Yeah.
In any, burglary or any home invasion, there has to be an edge of, well, things might go bad.
Well, the other thing is they went into his bedroom and woke him up.
Well, yeah, they didn't know where his wrench was. You know how many people I've had to wake up at 3 a.m. because their fucking 8mm socket's missing?
It's always 10mm.
Yeah, I know. I just picked a number, okay? And also because it was the one we couldn't find when me and Zach were trying to change his headlight the other day. So, but, you know what I mean? It is one of those things. And then you do have, 14 years? 12 years? Between 84 and,
98. That's 14.
Was it 98? I thought she was executed. Oh, it was 98, yeah. So, but there was a lot of time, and she's a very good example of a bad life not necessarily creates a bad person, because I don't think there are inherently bad people. Actually, that's not true. I believe that the only way you can be a truly bad person is if you have the privilege to be. Okay. I see people changed to have to do bad things because of their environments.
Yeah.
A lot of gangbangers, you take them out of, a lot of gangbangers or even bikers, in this lady's case, you take them out of the bad elements and then they can flourish into being much better people. She had to start hooking at 12?
Something like that, yeah.
Or even if she's only with her mom, who's the prostitute, then she's still living a negative life.
Yeah.
So you take her out of that and, throw her in jail for 16,
on death row.
On
so
death
she's
row,
by
so
herself.
Exactly. She's not doing the Gen Pop thing. She's by herself. She honestly I personally think, while I'm not a religious person, I think that it's very easy on that case that, reading the Bible and it's very easy to convert from being a bad person into being a Christian.
Yes.
If you take out the negative influences and add positive influences,
it can change an entire person's outlook on life. Say that her outlook previously was down, dark, and everything like that. She reads the Bible, and from what I remember...
And detoxes. Don't forget the detoxing.
Don't forget the detox. What I remember is that she dropped to her knees and started crying after she read the Bible and tried to figure out how to justify with herself what she's done.
And that's what I mean, is like, that's actually a really good... It's a really good thing. Like, it's why I will never always be... I'm anti-organized religion, I am. But not because of the religious aspect, but the organization aspect. It's the same reason I'm anti-corporate. Does that make sense?
I love Jesus, but the fans he has are some wild ones.
Well, that's sort of it. Is that, you've got people who use it on so many different levels that it is very easy to... I can't believe this is going slightly evangelical, and I don't mean it to. It's very easy to overlook the impact that religion can have on an individual. Buddhism made me much better. I'm a bad Buddhist, but it helped me with a lot of my personal issues. So did having kids, but that's a completely different take. And I never want to make it sound like everyone should have children, because there's a lot of parents who shouldn't. But I honestly think that this is the first case where I'll say that I think that the law was too harsh on her specifically. I know Garrett would have been executed if he didn't die of liver disease.
Right.
But, no one got fucking anything for Debbie Thornton's death, which pisses me off far more than it should.
Oh, it was one of those things when it popped up when I was reading it. I'm like, are you kidding me? And then here's me. Yeah, nobody got freaking charged for this. Nobody. I just stopped writing for a little bit because it annoyed me so bad.
I understand, because it's like... So now you've got two people who are going to be executed for the death of one person, which, depending, I get. Like, the air quote perfect crime. Those two teen boys who killed...
Leopold and Lee.
And...
Loeb,
thank you.
Lisa Loeb.
Lisa Loeb is how you remember?
It's how I remember.
Really? Because I always think Leopold and Kate, which I know is also wrong.
But yeah,
and there's a deep cut movie.
That is a deep cut.
Was it Hugh Jackman or Patrick Dempsey?
It's Hugh Jackman.
Okay, so Patrick Dempsey is While You Were Sleeping.
No, While You Were Sleeping with Bill Pullman.
What the hell's the one I'm thinking about with Patrick Dempsey? It was like right when he became McDreamy on... Because it was part of that that 3-movie fucking...
I know what you're talking about.
Because anytime I think about it, I don't think about the single poster. I don't think about the single DVD. I think about you and Mom religiously watched this one 3-pack.
I know what you're talking about. I can't think of it.
And it's Kate and Leopold, not Leopold and Kate.
No, it's Leopold and Kate.
No, it's Kate and Leopold.
Oh, you're right. It is Kate and Leopold. All right, anyways, what about Leopold and Loeb?
They killed one person.
Yes.
Both of them deserve to be killed for it.
Yeah.
No, I'm not even going to say it. That is essentially what executions are. And I've never been all lives matter. All life matters. All lives are totally different.
Okay.
Okay, it's some people's lives do not matter as much as other people's lives.
And I do believe that if you are killed, you've given up your right to live.
Essentially. And now I know you can turn into the, eye for an eye makes everyone deaf and blind or whatever.
Right, but now with also DNA testing, we are much more closer to able to say definitively this person did this killing.
Yeah. I mean, and we've looked back on cases, and you've brought up some that are like, well, posthumously they were, pardoned.
Yes.
I mean, the Central Park dude.
The Central Park 5? Central Park 3?
were finally, I believe, weren't they the ones who were,
It was Memphis 3, Central Park 5.
Okay. But they, it was after 30 some odd years in prison that we finally were able to turn around and go, oh shit, our bad, you were just black in the wrong area. Totally sorry.
Yeah.
Which is its own can of worms, and we'll get to one of those later. I don't know if you have any written up, but...
No, I probably will never do one of them because they still have not solved it.
Fair. I meant more towards where, hey, here's a big oopsie.
Yeah, we got to do a couple of those.
And we've done a couple of them. But anyways, back to Tucker's case here. I honestly think that she could have been a perfect example of what our prison system should do. Rehabilitate.
Yeah.
Not just punish. It's the things that I always talk about, the difference between parenting styles.
Yes.
Where it's not, okay, we put our, kid does something bad, you put him into timeout. Now he equates, I do this, here's the punishment. Not, the reason I'm being punished is because it was bad. Does that make sense?
Yes.
It's we don't want you to do this anymore.
But we need to
But there does need to be a punishment.
Yes. I really think that we should have it where we start limiting how many people are in a pod.
Oh, definitely. And I know Dad actually brought this up when he was working at OCJ.
Yeah. Because if you have a lot of people in a pod, maybe we could actually get rehabilitation and nobody's,
Yeah, when you've got 60 people in a stack.
How are you going to
I don't even know the scale.
I don't either anymore. But just something like that, we should be able to rehabilitate, but we're not doing it. We're not doing it.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's wrap it up.
This was actually a lot more interesting than I think the last few we've done, actually. Because, instead of it just being cut and dry, okay, she did it, whatever, it actually has...
a little meat to it.
It has a lot of meat to it, and you at home definitely let us know what you think. Because, Sam probably didn't get every detail right, or add every detail.
I did not add every detail.
We try and keep these pasta quick. So, let us know, because this is actually a very interesting thing to discuss, on a discussion level.
It is. Maybe one day we'll discuss it again.
Honestly, I think, let's actually do that. Put up a thing on Facebook. Just, hey, what would be some interesting talking points or whatnot like that? And then we can do one of our bonus episodes being almost a Q&A. But not a Q&A. It's like, they feel that religion has caused bad due to, Duker having to kill women for dead saliva. I'm sorry, just needed dead saliva. He chose the killing.
He did choose the killing.
Or something like that,
Yeah.
Or what would be a positive rehabilitation, particularly if someone's taken a life. Again, this wasn't going out to kill someone. The death is definitely a side effect of the burglary.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things. But anyways, let's wrap this up. I'm talking too much. With that all said, definitely follow us on all the socials and definitely comment, because I'd love to hear other people's thoughts on this. Oh, I'm AJ Carey.
And I'm Sam Rossi. Later, y'all.
Killing 15 Minutes is hosted by Arthur Carey, with scripts written and researched by Sam Rossi. If you like this episode or want to stay updated on this series, consider following Killing 15 Minutes on Patreon or Retrostatic Radio on all major social media platforms. Good night and God bless.
You're watching Retrostatic Radio.
Wheel of Random is turn, turn, turn. Tell us the 15 minutes we shall learn.
I'm Sam Rossi, writer and co-host of Randomly 15 Minutes, where the wheel of randomness gives me the topic and I write about it.
I'm Megan Klodnicki, and I'm the host of Randomly 15 Minutes. I cold read what Sam writes and learn in real time about a random topic.
You can find us on all major podcast platforms and YouTube.
Follow us on Facebook at Randomly 15 Minutes to get more random facts.